During the Northern Wei dynasty in China, Mulan enlists on behalf of her aging and sickly father to fight the invading barbarian troops. Despite initial resistance from her family, Mulan convinces her father to let her go and shows her martial arts skills before setting off to fight. "My child, it's getting late, don't delay the military affairs, set off quickly." Mulan heard her father's call and bid farewell to her family once again, wiping away tears. Along the way, Mulan traveled day and night, crossing the Yellow River and the Heishui River. The sound of the flowing water stirred up a myriad of thoughts. As she galloped on her horse, she faintly saw a few strong men riding ahead. It turned out that these men, named Wang Fu, Sun Jian, Zhou Ming, and Lu Zhong, were also heading to the front lines. They heard the neigh of a warhorse and saw a person riding towards them. They couldn't help but praise her and stopped to greet her. Sun Jian asked, "Are you also heading to the front lines, brave warrior?" Mulan replied, "Indeed." Lu Zhong and Wang Fu said, "We are also going to enlist, why not travel together?" Mulan hesitated for a moment. Zhou Ming asked, "May I ask for your name?" "I am Hua Mulan, from Shangyi Village, Yan'an Prefecture. We are from the same hometown." After introducing themselves and exchanging pleasantries, they rode together. Mulan and her companions chatted and laughed as they traveled, but Lu Zhong seemed weighed down by heavy thoughts. Sun Jian asked, "What's wrong, brother Lu?" Lu Zhong replied, "Did you not see as we passed through villages and towns, families reunited at every home? Why must we leave our hometowns and go to war? We don't even know if we'll live or die. It would be better to take our time." Mulan interjected, "Brother Lu, you're mistaken. How do you know that every family on the border doesn't have men, women, and children? If everyone stayed home, afraid to fight, the war might come knocking on our own doors. We must do our duty." The others agreed with Mulan and tried to convince Lu Zhong. Lu Zhong said, "It's not that I'm afraid to fight, but going to battle means risking our lives. Why do men always have to deal with the bad luck? Women get to stay home and enjoy their leisurely lives." Mulan silently thought to herself, it's better not to speak about gender issues. She called out, "Let's focus on the journey ahead, who cares whether they're living leisurely or not?" Wang Fu chimed in, "You should talk less and concentrate on the road." "What? You think I'm just talking idle talk?" Lu Zhong was not pleased. "Think about it. All the hardships in this world are done by us men, while women stay at home all day and enjoy leisure. Aren't they getting a big advantage?" "That's not true either," Mulan said. "Who says women are inferior to men? Men fight on the border, while women weave at home. They work hard day and night, farming during the day and spinning cotton at night. Their hard work provides food and clothing for the soldiers. And many women heroes have fought and made great contributions to our country. How can you say that women are inferior to men?" Mulan continued, "Look at ourselves, which of our shoes, socks, clothes, and shirts were not sewn by women with thousands of needles and threads? And many women heroes have fought and made great contributions to our country. How can you say that women are inferior to men?" Lu Zhong agreed with Mulan, "You're right, brother Hua. Let's move on quickly." General He Tingyu had been intensively training his troops since he was defeated by Tu Jieli. He was preparing for another battle. On that day, Tu Jieli led his troops to attack again. General He immediately led his troops to confront the enemy. The two sides engaged in a fierce battle. He and Tu Jieli faced each other on horseback, wielding their weapons. It was a bloody fight. After more than a dozen rounds, Tu Jieli retreated. However, he had more soldiers and ordered them to charge together, causing a chaotic battle. As Mulan and her companions were walking, they suddenly heard the sound of war drums and the deafening roar of battle ahead. They spurred their horses and rushed forward to see what was happening. The two sides were locked in a fierce battle that seemed impossible to resolve. Mulan and her companions immediately charged into the fray and engaged the enemy soldiers. General Zhang, under General He's command, saw the brave warriors fighting alongside them and was extremely pleased. He thanked them with clasped hands. At this moment, General He was surrounded by a group of enemy soldiers and exhausted. In the midst of the crisis, Mulan and General Zhang rushed to the rescue on horseback. Mulan was incredibly brave and quickly drove away the enemy soldiers. Tu Jieli led his soldiers to flee in panic. Mulan rode after them. "Wait, young warrior." General He called out to Mulan and gave orders to the central army, "Sound the retreat." Mulan was puzzled. "General, the enemy is retreating. Why retreat when we can pursue and defeat them?" General He explained, "Young hero, Tu Jieli is cunning and good at using cavalry. The winners gather and the losers scatter. Today, the enemy cavalry is not in disarray, so beware of their tricks. May I ask for your name?" Mulan replied, "I am Hua Mulan." "Hua Mulan, what a great young hero." Just then, a scout urgently reported, "Tu Jieli and his soldiers have come back." General He then gave orders, "General Zhang, lead a group of soldiers with hooks, sickles, and long spears to ambush on the left side of the mountain. General Li, lead a group of soldiers with archers to ambush on the right side of the mountain." The two generals followed the orders and left. Finally, General He turned to Mulan, "Hero Hua, come with me to confront the enemy." Time flies like an arrow, and in the blink of an eye, 12 years have passed. Hua Mulan served under General He and achieved remarkable military exploits. She has now been promoted to a general herself. On this particular day, late at night, Mulan led Zhou Ming, Wang Fu, and others to patrol the camp and keep watch. Suddenly, they heard a flock of birds in the north of the camp flying south in a panic. Mulan became alert and said, "What's happening?" She thought for a moment and suddenly realized, the enemy must be coming to raid our camp tonight. The sound of horses must have startled the birds along the way. Mulan immediately ordered Zhou Ming, "Quickly inform our troops in the main camp to put on armor and saddle their horses. They must be ready to receive orders without delay." Then she asked to Wang Fu, "Come with me to report to the general." It was already past midnight, but the tent was still brightly lit. General He was studying the military situation with Generals Zhang and Li, looking at the maps. General He saw Mulan rushing into the tent in a hurry and asked, "General Hua, what brings you here in the middle of the night?" "I have urgent military information to report to the general." "Speak." Mulan reported the unusual situation she had observed during her patrol and her analysis and speculation. She also asked the general to prepare early. General He nodded and said, "General Hua is well versed in military tactics and your analysis is correct. Based on your ideas, I will lead my troops to ambush in the pine forest and let the enemy soldiers pass by. Please vacate a camp for the general and order the 3 armies to surround and kill them from all sides. Then the enemy soldiers will have nowhere to go and we can achieve great victory." "Good, your plan is exactly what I had in mind." General He immediately ordered, "General Hua, lead your troops to carry out the plan." Mulan received the order and left the tent. General He also gave orders to Generals Zhang and Li, "Order all the officers to lower the flags and drums, and ambush from all sides. When I beat the drum, charge together without error." Under the cover of the dark night, Tu Jieli led his soldiers crawling forward, preparing to raid General He's camp. When they arrived at the entrance of the camp, Tu Jieli waved his sword and shouted, "Kill all." The enemy soldiers rushed in. However, they found an empty camp. Tu Jieli immediately realized that there must be an ambush nearby and shouted, "Retreat quickly." However, it was too late. The sound of killing suddenly erupted from all sides, and thousands of soldiers seemed to appear out of nowhere, surrounding the enemy soldiers. Tu Jieli fled in panic. Mulan rode ahead and shouted, "Where do you think you're going, Tu Jieli?" Tu Jieli didn't dare to fight and fled. The enemy soldiers retreated and shot arrows to stop the pursuers. Mulan, who was at the forefront, was accidentally shot in the left arm by a stray arrow. Sun Jian quickly tore a piece of cloth from his clothes to bandage her wound and advised her, "General Hua, you should hurry back to camp." Mulan endured the pain and said, "A small arrow wound is nothing." Brothers, follow me and chase after Tujie. Tujie fled in a panic and was chased by Mulan to a cliff. With no way out, he turned his horse around and fought Mulan. Mulan fought bravely and Tujie became increasingly panicked and his swordsmanship became disorganized. After more than 10 rounds, Mulan knocked Tujie off his horse with a spear and captured him alive. General He laughed heartily when he saw Tujie being brought back and ordered, "Good. Take Tujie back to the camp. General Hua and the other generals, beat the drums of victory and let's return to camp." With Tujie captured and the enemy soldiers defeated, the entire army was in a state of jubilation. However, Mulan's face showed a look of concern in the tent, worrying that if her left arm wound was exposed over time, it would reveal her true identity. So she began to consider the idea of returning home. Just as she was thinking about it, the Middle Army entered the tent to report to the general. Mulan quickly straightened her attire and went out to meet them. Mulan went out to see the general. He hurriedly said, "Please rise, General Hua. How is your arrow wound?" Mulan replied, "The arrow wound? It's nothing, General. Please proceed." They went into the tent together. Marshal, if he wants to give the marriage, what should Hua Mulan do? The story behind is more exciting. Please subscribe to our channel and we will update you the next episode right away.